Have you ever wondered how art has evolved over the years? Today we are embarking on a fascinating journey through art history, starting with Expressionism, a movement that truly shook the art world at its core. Expressionism emerged in the early 20th century as a reaction to the pressures of industrialization and urbanization, offering an escape from reality into the realm of emotion and subjective experience. It was a cry of the soul, a rebellion against the cold rationality of the world, a yearning for something more profound and meaningful. Artists like Edvard Munch and Ernst Ludwig Kirchner became the face of this movement, creating artworks that were a far cry from the traditional, realistic depictions of the time. Their works were characterized by bold, vibrant colors and distorted forms, all in a bid to express intense emotional states. Munch's painting, The Scream, is a classic example of expressionist art. With its swirling, fiery sky and the haunting figure at the center, it's an embodiment of existential dread. Similarly, Kirchner's cityscapes, with their jagged lines and clashing colors, convey the chaos and alienation of modern urban life. In Expressionism, the world was not as it appeared to the eye, but as it was felt in the heart. It was less about the external reality and more about the inner emotions. It was, in essence, a journey inward, a plunge into the depths of the human psyche. Expressionism set the stage for a new era of art, leading us to the next movement, Abstraction. But that's a story for another time. For now, let's bask in the raw, emotional power of expressionist art and appreciate the courage of those artists who dared to look inward and express their innermost feelings on canvas. Until our next stop on this journey through art history, remember, art is not what you see, but what you make others see. As we move further into the 20th century, we encounter a shift towards abstraction. This was an art movement that sought to break away from the traditional representation of physical objects. It explored the relationships of shapes and colors, which might not represent anything specific in the real world, but instead focus on achieving its effect using forms, colors, and textures. One of the leading figures of this movement was Wassily Kandinsky, who believed that abstract art could evoke emotions in a way that traditional art could not. He played with colors and shapes to create an emotional resonance. Another pioneer of the abstract movement was Piet Mondrian, who took abstraction to a new level with his strict focus on horizontal and vertical lines and primary colors. Abstract art opened the door to a whole new way of seeing the world, paving the way for the rise of abstract expressionism. In the aftermath of World War II, abstract expressionism emerged, dominating the art world. This movement marked a shift from traditional art forms, as artists strived to convey raw emotion and individualism through their work. Abstract expressionism was less about the final product and more about the process of creation, with artists often working on a large scale, using bold, sweeping gestures to apply paint to their canvases. Two artists stand out in this movement: Jackson Pollock and Willem de Kooning. Pollock was known for his drip paintings, where he would let paint fall onto the canvas, allowing for an element of chance in his work. De Kooning, on the other hand, was celebrated for his abstract depictions of the human figure, using aggressive brushwork and high-contrast colors. The mid-20th century brought us into the colorful and iconic world of pop art. The rise of pop art saw a celebration of popular culture and consumerism. As we hit the mid-20th century, art took a vibrant turn, reflecting the explosion of mass media and advertising. This was the era of pop art, a movement that blurred the lines between high art and low art and brought everyday objects into the spotlight. Pop art was all about bold colors, iconic imagery, and a fresh take on what art could be. It was a direct response to the abstraction and introspection of previous movements, instead choosing to revel in the familiar and the mundane. Two artists stand out in this movement, Andy Warhol and Roy Lichtenstein. Warhol, with his repetitive images of soup cans and celebrities, and Lichtenstein, with his comic strip-inspired works, brought a new visual language to the world of art, one that was accessible, relatable, and deeply ingrained in the culture of the time. From the vibrant world of pop art, we move into the minimalist era. In contrast to the boldness of pop art, minimalism focused on simplicity and geometric forms. This movement, blooming in the latter half of the 20th century, emphasized the essence of artistry, stripping away all but the most fundamental features. the minimalist artists pursued purity and clarity, a stark contrast to the exuberant pop art that immediately preceded it. Artists like Donald Judd and Sol LeWitt are distinguished figures in this movement. Judd, with his industrial box-like forms, and LeWitt, with his emphasis on the concept over the execution, both explored the ideas of space and materiality. They asked viewers to consider not just the artwork, but also the surrounding environment and how the two interacted. Minimalism, therefore, was not just about simplicity, but about encouraging a new way of perceiving art. With minimalism, we saw a shift towards postmodernism, a reaction to the ideals of modernism. Postmodernism emerged as a counter to modernism, embracing eclecticism and irony. This shift in thought, occurring during the late 20th century, marked a departure from the traditional norms of art, challenging the very concepts of originality, high culture, and authorship. Postmodernism is a complex term encompassing a variety of styles and approaches. It is characterized by a deliberate mixing of different artistic styles and media, a playfulness with form and content, and a focus on the process of art making over the finished product. One of the most important figures in the postmodern movement is Cindy Sherman, a renowned American photographer. Sherman's work explores the construction of identity and the role of women in society. Her most famous series, Untitled Film Stills, features herself in various roles and settings, offering a critique of the stereotypical representations of women in media. Another key figure in postmodern art is Jeff Koons, known for his reproductions of banal objects. Koons' work questions the boundaries between art and consumer culture, often blurring the line between the two. His iconic sculpture, Balloon Dog, is a perfect example of this, a monumental work that mimics a child's toy but is crafted from stainless steel and finished with a mirror-like surface. Postmodern artists like Sherman and Koons challenge the notion of the artist as a solitary genius, instead emphasizing the role of the artist as a cultural worker within a larger social and economic system. Their work reflects a critical engagement with society, questioning accepted norms and values. Postmodernism paved the way for the diverse landscape of contemporary art. It opened up new possibilities for artistic expression, allowing artists to mix styles, techniques, and genres, and to engage with contemporary issues in innovative ways. It's a period of art history that reminds us that art doesn't exist in a vacuum, but is always in dialogue with the world around it. Contemporary art, our final stop, reflects the complexities of our globalized world. It's an umbrella term that encompasses a wide range of artistic styles and approaches, all of which reflect the multifaceted nature of our current times. Contemporary art is not confined to a single medium or style. Instead, it's an open-ended dialogue, a conversation that considers the past, the present, and the future. It's about pushing boundaries, challenging norms, and sparking thought and conversation. Take Marina Abramović, for example. She's a performance artist known for her intense, physically demanding works. Abramović often uses her own body as a canvas, exploring the relationship between performer and audience, the limits of the body, and the possibilities of the mind. Then there's Ai Weiwei, a Chinese contemporary artist and activist. His work spans a broad range of mediums, from sculpture to photography, installation to architecture. Weiwei's art often serves as social commentary, confronting issues of freedom, democracy, and human rights. Contemporary artists are not just creators. They are observers, commentators, and often provocateurs. They reflect on the world around them, asking tough questions and challenging us to do the same. Their works are a mirror to our society, a reflection of our times. It's also worth noting how technology has influenced contemporary art. Digital installations and virtual reality artworks are becoming increasingly common, blurring the lines between art and technology. This intersection of art and tech offers new ways to experience and interact with art, opening up exciting possibilities for the future. Contemporary art is a testament to the power of creativity in navigating the complexities of our world. It's a dynamic, ever-changing field that continues to evolve as we do. As we conclude our journey, we appreciate the ever-evolving nature of art and its power to inspire and transform. From Expressionism to contemporary art, each movement, each artist, each work of art is a piece of the puzzle, a chapter in the ongoing story of human creativity. This journey has shown us that art is not just about beauty or aesthetics. It's about expression, emotion, and exploration. It's a reflection of who we are and who we aspire to be. Our journey from Expressionism to contemporary art has been a testament to the dynamic world of art. We've traced the bold expressions of inner emotions, the abstraction of form and color, the gestural works of abstract expressionism, the celebration of popular culture in pop art, the simplicity of minimalism, the eclectic irony of postmodernism, and the boundary-pushing diversity of contemporary art. These movements remind us of the ever-evolving nature of artistic expression and its transformative power. Until our next journey, keep exploring the wonderful world of art and the beauty that surrounds us.